What's what's up with this idea that black men don't want black women to be successful? I've been noticing a trend of people promoting this idea, right? That and it's funny because it's the more we focus on the struggle of the black man, it becomes this thing where there's like this duality that black men hate black women, and there's this whole like supposed to be this divide. And it's interesting because me personally, as a black man, has never felt that way, right? First of all, I don't even believe in labels, but for the sake of the video, right? I've never looked at a any woman versus a black woman, someone who, for the most part, wears the same ensemble as me and deals with the things I deal with, and looked at that as my enemy or somebody that I'm against or want to hold back. I won't get too far into the history of these things. I know there's a million and one people that could explain to you why that mentality is framed that way. I just think it's interesting that there seems to be this campaign, right, to push the black woman towards hating the black man, right? A lot of these things are rooted in like socioeconomic status or how we're treated. Like so many statistics that we can get to, but there's supposed to be like this divide and separation between black men and black women, and in our own shells, we are not appreciated until we blossom and we get to a point where we become comfortable in ourselves, so are able to pioneer a life for us in this world where we are constantly subjugated. Not saying that black women are not. The most subjugated creature on this fucking planet, creatures, are black men and pit bulls. All right? If you disagree, you need to pick up a fucking book. Period. Like, period. You know what I mean? We can have the debate. I'm 100% up for it. But with that being said, this idea is completely disingenuous, right? It's not real. If you want to take a couple of examples of a person who is self-hating and use that for your example, I mean, by all means, there's nothing I can say to argue that. But I mean, you're gonna find that medium on either side of the table, right? I just think it's interesting that people don't notice that that's the one way that people get to like incandescently slide this idea in that black men deserve to be hunted, right? It's like this idea that we don't care about our women, and that's why they don't like us, or that's why they don't take the time to understand us, or that's why they'd rather judge us than take the time to understand us. Because the only time a woman wants to understand a black man is when he's rich, right? Or if he's doing something that she really appreciates, right? That's subjective. That's neither here nor there. But the reality of it is, if you don't unequivocally have something to give, and that's the standard for men, right? That's just not about men who identify as black men. That's a standard for men, period. Right? But as black men who are subjugated by other men, you know what I mean, and subjugated as a separate group from all of humanity, right? If you look at it from that standpoint, it becomes much more clear on why people promote ideas like this, right? And black women always go through this thing where it's like they're so quick to point out famous men who date women of other races. Yet they don't look at an example of how much you promote the destruction of the black household and sit back and wonder, why would someone who is comfortable within themselves, right, who doesn't want to have me as an item, why would they want me? Because I'm not going to build that person, right? My idea of building a person is taking them and attempting to make them financially stable, right? This is me talking for other people. That's not my idea, right? Trauma, right? These are things that are prevalent in our communities. And if you're not with the idea of healing someone, then you just don't know what it takes to date a black man. Like, there's so many stigmatisms about dating a black woman and black women being go-getters, and I get it. Black men are also go-getters. We're just not allowed to fucking go-get. I don't think you guys realize that. right? We're not allowed to. No one is discriminated against more than black men, right? So this idea that there's this divide between the two, it's not, right? This shit was written in a book a long time ago, right? It's called Breaking the Curse of Willie Lynch. I don't, not to quote that specific book or whatever. Fucking look it up, right? Look up who Willie Lynch is. Look up how they taught the African slaves they brought over in a transatlantic slave trade to behave. And you will find your divide, right? This isn't about black fathers. This isn't about the past. This isn't about the future. This is about right now in the present and being responsible for the energy that you create. You don't have to go out your way to try to uplift every black man that you see. That's not my point. You don't have to go out your way to date within your race. It's racism, right? And there's only one race anyway, right? It's the fucking human race. It's not, still not my point, right? It just like it's unbecoming. You can't be an advocacy for your complexion if you can't understand the plight of your people. It's not about men, right? It's about a plight of people who look like you. Because we're all black when we're being discriminated against, right? We're all black. But if it's a situation where it's a brother versus a sister, it always turns into fuck that nigga. I never see that from the other side. I'll be totally honest with you. It's not real. And you guys like to promote that shit because you're a part of the team that's winning, right? The fuck the black man team. Have a good day.